go. I should definitely make sure that my face does not show up in this video. That will be terrible. Okay, I'm sharing this that we did Tuesday, and I think you guys remember that I placed this yellow a line in here. It's not a line, actually, it's just I colored these cells yellow because I wanted to show you guys that you should definitely not include the totals and everything below the totals when you calculate anything. For example, average, max, and min. So for today, I'm obviously taking it out again because I'm not going to use it. By the way, when you take it out, you will just say no fill and it will remove it like that. Okay. there is a there is a nice 2 pages in this specific lesson that contains all the formatting. And when I saw this, I thought this is nice because I can just print these 2 pages and I don't have to work from the slides. So that is what I'm going to do. Okay, and the first one says we have to change the theme of the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go to page layout and I'm going to go to themes, and they are saying we should change it to bases. So I'm clicking on bases. Some of these fonts I don't recommend. For example, this would have been themes rather. This would be one of them because as you can see, the 8s and 6s are so much bigger than the rest of the numbers. And often it makes it difficult to read stuff like this, especially if you're seeing a lot of numbers at the same page. At the same time, for example, when I do your grades, for example, when I was still teaching full-time, I would have 100 of you. And I think I would get very distracted if my 8s were above the rest. Things like that. That wouldn't have worked for me. Okay, so the first thing we did was we changed our theme. And when you change your theme, you will notice that all your colors also change according to the theme. So in the test or exam, if you don't have the theme, you will just have to send me a screenshot of this specifically with it open and let me see that you really don't have that theme. And then all the theme questions or theme related questions, you won't be penalized if you didn't get it right. Okay, so we're going to go and we're going to merge and center A to J. So it's this one at the top. And it says we're going to do center across. Okay, so center across means merge and center. So I'm clicking on merge and center. And then we're going to apply a title cell style over here. So I'm going to click on title. I'm also going to change the font size of the title to 18, which it is already. And then the subtitle to 16. Just remember that 16 would be A, not B. I just clicked in B. This one will also be merged and centered across. So we will click on merge and center. Just notice that we didn't complete the date line. That doesn't matter. Remember what I told you about the dates. Doesn't work if it's American dates. I should go and check it out. I said I would, but I didn't get time to do that. Okay. Background color. Okay, here we go. Is this for both? Yep, it's for both. So I'm going to select both of them like this. I1 and I2, which is now difficult to say I1 and I2 because we actually have a huge blocks full of cells now. But since it's merged, it's basically 2 big cells. So the background color that we are choosing is green accent 1 lighter 60%. So I'm going to the bucket and I'm going to green, and we're going to green accent 1 lighter 60. This is 40. This is 25, so that must be 60. Bit hard to see actually. Okay, and then we're going to choose a thick box border to go around. Okay, you could have left it selected. Sorry, I didn't realize I was going to continue with this one. So you just leave it selected and then you choose thick outside borders. Okay, now I've got, it doesn't look like it's got the border over here, but let me show you, it is there. where do I want to go? Print. So you will notice that even though it looks as if it's not there, it is in fact there. So don't worry if it doesn't look like it's there. Also notice the minute you go to print preview, this dotted line appears, and this indicates that this is the cutoff place for my page. Okay, so we're done with the heading, and now we're going to do the column titles. Remember, these are your column titles, and these are your row titles. In this case, the row titles are names. So we're selecting our column titles, and we're choosing heading 3. Okay, like that. And the alignment for the heading or the column title should be centered. So I'm clicking on center. And now we're going to head on over to our data. As you know or can see, those things are not fitting in those cells, but don't worry because we still have to do the numbers. And once we do the numbers, I'm sure it will fit. So always leave it. Don't try and tamper or don't try to fiddle with those things. Just keep them like they are until you are getting to that point where you format the numbers. Okay, so the dates, I'm going to show you how to format a date, but it's not necessary for you guys to do that in this case. Okay, so you select your range, you right click on your range and you say format cells, and then you will see there's actually a date option that you can choose. And in date option, in this case it's going to be USA English, so just notice here that there's an option for United States, and they obviously want us to choose month, day, year. So it's MMDDYY, so that would be this one. Okay, month, day, year. But if you want South Africa, you obviously want to choose a South African one, and that looks a little bit different. If you choose English South Africa, you also have a double one, but it doesn't mean the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to choose it, but just notice that it will probably change the date completely. Alignment, center the data in the range B4 to B16. So I'm heading down to B4 and I'm going down to B16, and I want us to just format and center that. Okay, numbers in column C. Okay, so they're giving us columns one by one. So I'm going to select column C without selecting the rest. So that should be comma style. So I'm clicking on the comma, right? And they are saying 2 decimal places. Okay, let's see. At the moment, they have 2 decimal places already. If you are in doubt about whether this is a comma or this is a point or something, you can add decimals. You can see here increase and decrease decimal, and you will know here, oh okay, it's decimals already, so they want 2, so just decrease 1 again. Sometimes some of the settings are points and some are commas and some are spaces, so depending on your computer. Okay, then it says if a cell in the range C4 to C12, okay, is greater than, oh, okay, here we have our conditional formatting. Okay, so this is the condition. I'm going to write it out here in easy terms. Okay, so the condition says if a cell in the range, are we talking about C4 up to C12? So we're not talking about the whole line because it goes to 16. Is greater than or is greater than 70. Okay, so it's just greater than 70. What should happen? Okay, so there's a value if true. Okay, if it is true, then the cell appears with a background color of orange. Okay, so then you make the cell orange and the font color white. Okay, and if it is false, nothing happens. Okay. Okay, so it basically stays the same. So over here, I've just typed the condition because what we're going to do now is conditional formatting, and you will see over here is the little button for that. But before we can do it, we just need to understand what must we change? So if you look at this range, and we're just going to change up to 12. So if you look at this range, you're going to see if it's greater than 70. So let's just look with our eyes. This one is greater than 70, this one is greater than 70, and this one is exactly 70. So if it is exactly 70, it's going to be skipped because we did not say equal to 70. We said greater than 70. So if we added an equal sign here, it would have included this one that said 70, but it did not say equal to 70. It just says greater than 70. Okay, so if it is greater than 70, we need to make that cell look orange with white text. Okay, so let's go. So first of all, I'm selecting the range. You could also select it later, but it's just a lot easier if you first select your range. Then you head on over to conditional formatting, and this is a new rule, or as I would like to call it, a new condition. So you can just click on new rule. Okay, right. When you get to this box, you will select format only cells that contain, and when you get here, you will see that this is something that you can now edit. So what is our condition? Let me open it. If our cell value is greater than 70, okay. So cell value is greater than 70. And you would notice the minute I chose greater than and not greater than and equal to or greater than and something else, it only gave oh sorry, it only gave me one box on that side. Okay. So this is my test. It tests to see if it is greater than 70. Okay. Now what must I do with that if it is? Okay. So if it is greater than 70, they want us to choose a background color, which is a full color, and they don't want us to choose red. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want font. Cancel. Okay. So I want a background color that is red. Okay, and I want a font color that is white. So notice here that you have a background color that is red and you have a font color that is white. When you click on OK, you will see a preview of how it should look. Oh, it's not red, it's orange. Sure guys, sorry. I just realized it's actually orange. Is that orange? I guess it's orange. Oh, sure, my brain. Okay, so that is our logical test. If it is not, or if the test returns a false answer, nothing will happen to the cell. So when you click on OK, you will notice that our three values that we actually just saw with our little eyes like that, it did in fact change. And if you change anything in the spreadsheet, these will also change, but only until this cell. Because when we applied the conditional formatting rule, we only applied it to this bit of cells. So we are not applying it to the whole spreadsheet. Okay. So if anything else changes, this is where it's going to be affected. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for now. So let's continue. Numbers in the top row. Okay, so this is the top row. D4. Okay, so it's going to be D4. And then G4, so in other words, E4 shouldn't be included. Okay, so it's D4 to G4, okay, D4 to G4, and I4. So you're holding control and you select the I. I nearly didn't see that colon, so just make sure that you don't miss it like I just did. So it's going to be D4 to G4 and I4. Should be a counting style. And then the numbers below the top row, which will be D5 to G12, comma style with decimal places. Okay, so the rest is obviously going to look a little bit different. Okay, the next one is the total line, and the total line is over here. Totals. I'm including this one, it's not necessary. Should I include this one? Yep, I should include it. Okay, so that one will be total cell style. like that. Okay. The numbers, accounting number format. Okay, so we are choosing the style, but we are choosing the numbers to be accounting style format. Okay, that's all of it. Okay, but remember, dependence and hours worked, those are not money. Okay, so you can't choose those ones. Also, tax percentage is a percentage, so you're going to skip that one also, and you're going to go over to the last one. Okay, so that is something that I just call staying awake when you do these things. Highest, lowest, and average rows. So we are now going to select the bottom part here. So they are going to be A4 to A16. A14 to A16 is just bold, like that. And then the numbers is currency style with floating dollar sign. Okay, so just remember hours worked is not currency. So I'm just selecting everything in between, and also not tax percentage, but I'm going to select the last one. So all of that will be floating dollar sign with the currency. So you choose currency. The only thing floating dollar means is the rand is right next to the amount. Comma style for hours worked. Okay, so here we get the hours worked, and they are comma style, which is already comma style. Okay, so we are nearly done. The percentages column in H. So now selecting all the percentages over here. That must be percentage style with 2 decimal places. So you are selecting all these numbers, and you're just going to click on the percentage button, and you're going to increase the decimal twice. So 1, 2. That means there's going to be 2 decimals after the comma. Okay, column widths. Okay, let's use control to get them all in the same go. A and B, best fit. Okay, so A, best fit means double click. Okay. Column E, F, and I. So I'm selecting them like this. E, control, F, control, I. So holding control to select all of them at the same time. They are going to be 10.50. Okay, and then columns G. So I'm just selecting G from column width. 10.25. What else is there? C, D, and H. C, D, H, and they are 7.5 column width. Alright, and now let's look at row heights. Row 3, so they work the exact same way. You go to row 3, you right click on it, and you say row height, and they give you the right as 48. Okay, quite a big one actually. And row 14 as well, that should be 27. So row height 27, and then the other rows remain the same. And that looks like the end. So I'm just going to double check to make sure that this is in fact the end. We were supposed to rename the sheet. I'm just quickly renaming the sheet to salary report, it looks like. So remember, you double click on this tab. When it becomes highlighted, you change the name to salary report. Okay, I'm just quickly pausing my video. Unpause. Okay. Okay, let me just bring you back here. So once again, they want us to fit this on one page. So we're just going to go and say page layout, margins, custom margins. We're not changing the orientation. They did not say that. And it's a nice small spreadsheet. So it's going to fit horizontally, vertically. It's going to fit on a normal page. And then fit it to one page and just click on OK. Alright. And then they also want to print the formula version. Remember that is control accent, and this will actually fit on your page. Even though it is crazy big, it's going to print tiny, tiny, tiny. But because we said 51 page, it's going to fit. Don't worry. Okay, taking it back. Now, if you want to print just a section of your worksheet, I'm going to show you how to do that. If you just want to print this section, for example, you just select it, then you go over here and you say File, Print. And when you get to print, this is where you will make your choice. And you will say only print a certain selection. And then it will only print what you have selected. So we never need to print a whole page or a whole section just because we have to. We don't have to. We can actually just select what it is that we wish to print. Another thing that they mentioned was spell check. So you can also you can always spell check anything. I'm not going to spell check this because it's got some Chinese and so on, but you can definitely go through this and check if you guys are sure that you didn't make any spelling mistakes. So I'm just going to cancel over here. Okay, do you guys have any questions for me with this thing? This will bring us to the end of class participation 2. So when you have some time, you should go ahead and just have a look at that. Just going to stop my